Lennon Cove is waking up this morning to a changed world, though most of them don't know it. The new world is heralded by a massive collection of graffiti on the plywood boarding up the condemned Lamplighter Square, former home of Thor's hammer. The graffiti speaks of conspiracy, of deception, of the founding families of Lantern Cove. It is an ardent, if chaotic message telling everyone that something is going on under their very noses. Public workers are sent to cover it up almost immediately, but not before it is seen by a significant percentage of the town's residents on their way to work or school. It's the talk of the town this morning. That and the house fire that killed the Andersons last night. All of Lantern Cove feels unsettled, tense, waiting for the proverbial shoe to drop. As reports of missing Vintons come in, that shoe begins, silently behind the scenes, to drop. At Lantern Cove High, faculty are worried. Even discounting the events of last night, the situation is dire there. Principal Gilman doesn't show up for work, and his number is out of service. A significant number of students and teachers are suffering from some kind of malaise that is affecting their performance significantly, yet no one knows why. Vice Principal Shepard takes charge, sending the affected teachers home to rest and calling in every substitute available in Lantern Cove and its surrounding towns. Knowing in his heart that they will find nothing, he nonetheless starts scheduling checkups for the many affected students with the school nurse. He calls the police to report on the principal's missing status. All of you wake this morning to find a list of founding family names and addresses in your WhatsApp, courtesy of Clark's mom. It's time for school, but you've also been warned that school is dangerous for you now. But classes, lacrosse practice, and the expectations of most of your parents do await you at school. So, my friends, what is it that you do?
I mean, I gotta go to school. The team needs me. The amount of ire and eyes I would draw if I just didn't go to school, I gotta be there. My dad would be on my ass. Coach would be on my ass. Whole team would be checking up on me. We can't have that right now. And that's like a voice message in the WhatsApp with Chris like out of breath as he's sending it like mid jog.
Listen, you can't give up your workouts. It's really important to be consistent.
Yeah.
I think Olive is kind of just huddled in the van, just kind of like blearily looking at everyone going, there is an argument to be made for seeing what's happening at school, some of us doing that and some doing more away from school.
Freyja groggily says, I'm not fucking going to school.
I mean, I think that's a good call. You're good at learning things. You could probably find shit out. I need caffeine real bad.
Clark's still asleep at the wheel, and just at this time, like, his head slides off the top of the wheel and hits the horn, just like hearing that, just like I'm awake. What?
I have Adderall. Gus gave it to me. If anyone needs it, she takes some.
I think I left some caffeine pills in the glove box.
Pretty sure you're not supposed to take those without food or some shit.
Oh no, you're definitely not. My body's gonna fucking hate me, but I need to be awake.
Is the cafe next to the Thor's hammer still open, or was that whole lot just condemned?
Building is condemned.
Oh, shit. Should we go? Do you guys want to go to the diner?
Will we draw attention?
There's a bunch of high schoolers not in high school. On the other hand, does anyone care anymore?
I was gonna say, they don't know when the hell senior skip day is. I mean...
It's intergalactic war, guys. There's no rules.
There's no rule.
All I know is I need some coffee, like ASAP.
We gotta kill the founding families to restore order.
It's the fucking worst. Okay, wait. Olive text the WhatsApp. Chris, food. Are you coming?
Yeah, of course. Where?
Diner. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they have some keto options. Should be good.
Chris still doing keto in 2024. It's hilarious.
Horrifying.
Minutes away from the apocalypse. Truly wild.
Just Clark looks at the message, just like, God, even his text messages look like a morning person.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard said about anyone.
Oh my god, you even text like an insufferable dick. Come on. Thanks, I hate it.
All right, so it sounds like y'all are making your way to the Dinner Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Dinner Bell, a 24-hour establishment in the heart of beautiful Lantern Cove, is greasy and the service is slow, but it has a homey sort of charm to it.
Look, if your diner isn't greasy and with bad service, then the food's gonna be shit.
Fair enough. And the food here at the Dinner Bell is to die for.
That's ominous. We're going to die if we eat this food, y'all.
No, I think we're gonna die if we don't.
All right, so you get sat down and served your food, your little breakfast plates, your keto plates, whatever you get.
Yeah, can I switch the rye with just like another sausage patty?
Of course.
They're going to fucking punch you.
Well, look, like it's only 4 or 5 substitutions, okay? I should have figured it out beforehand.
You've heard that they punch that people get invites here, right? Like this isn't a place where you fuck with the wait staff.
Well, I wasn't fucking with them intentionally. I need to protect my gains.
If you get
And,
punched,
like-
it's not my fault.
Okay.
Olive puts extra syrup on her stack of pancakes and enjoys them thoroughly. Delicious.
All this carb loading.
Too much salt on the eggs.
All right, so is the plan just to like go to these other addresses or like
We should probably stake them out first, if anything.
okay.
Wait, we have like what, 3 days left? 4?
4. How many addresses are on the... Do we see how many addresses are on the list? Are they like pretty like compact like groups staying in like 2 to 3 houses each? Or...
There are such groups. However, there's also a large scattering of just individual residences.
I gotta cut the head off.
Yeah, we should hit the groups first, and then
Whatever.
Why can't they all just live in like one mansion? Why do they gotta be separate?
what if we use incendiaries and really long fuses so that we can set them off at the same time?
Really long fuses allow people to get away.
Only if they know it's happening.
Or if they see the really long fuse.
It gives them a long time to see what's happening.
Also, pretty sure none of us have that.
I'm going to play Gus here and say that we probably shouldn't talk about the specifics in the middle of the dinner bell.
You know the wait staff here, right? Like, are you eating here very often? Like, they only hire criminals.
It's like talking to a priest.
Yeah, like no one here is gonna rat us out.
As I'm looking at the list in the WhatsApp, are there any names that pop out at me as names of importance, like high-ranking people? Like, can I tell who are the people on this list that like the mayor, like the chief of police, like the whatever?
Virtually every powerful person in town is on this list.
We should start with the chief of police. That
Um,
didn't pull us away from school anymore.
without talking out loud, Olive is going to go in and find a way to like highlight or circle the specific people that are like, here are the targets if we want to cut off the head. Like, just she's making notes silently of like, these are probably closer to being the heads of the house. To narrow down the list.
Okay, so let's have each person go to a different house and make Sarah's life a nightmare.
Let's do it. Let's split the party 5 ways.
I like
Let's
this
go.
plan.
Hell yeah.
Fuck school.
Not gonna lie, there's a tiny part of the back of my brain that's going worried about Sophie Gus and what they're doing at the moment.
Yeah, but they can teleport, and I don't really think we have a way to track down someone who can teleport.
Yeah, also remember they were there for 5 minutes and then they just kind of dipped. So even if we do wrangle the cat can just teleport.
You know, like a cat.
Did my mom give Sophie Gus the phone back, or did she just take the phone with her?
She hasn't had an opportunity to give it back.
Gotcha.
All right, well, I'll go see what the vibe is like at school, which seems to be like a weird nexus for a lot of this. Probably nothing to look into there. I don't know if anyone else is on team school.
That definitely makes it feel like there's something to look into there, but
Well, I mean, look, the gas leak happened there. Sophie was there. The prom incident happened there. The replacements happened there.
The replacement?
the replacement.
Yeah, the doppelgangers, the trade outs, the
Oh, yeah.
But we know why those things happened then. Because they were doing their little family reunions, as they call them.
Yeah, it did happen at the same time as the ritual, so
right. But why did they do the ritual at the school?
Because they need groups of people. We don't know
Right,
why.
they can get groups of people elsewhere. I don't know. It feels like enough has happened centered around the school that it's probably not a coincidence.
I mean, Sophie was working with them at the time. Sophie knew what/who we are, so
I mean, Sophie is a multidimensional being that could work anywhere. These fairies are multidimensional beings that could connect to not anyone, but
I
a lot
guess
of
what I'm
people.
saying is I think the reason why they chose prom, well, they didn't. Why prom was a good place for replacement was because they could get to people that are close to us there.
You think that it's
Okay.
about us?
I mean, it's a good way to get us out of the way.
Well, I
People
think
that are close to us.
We do seem to be a threat.
I don't know. What's your instinct, Atticus?
I think we know. I think there's some merit to what. I don't know if it's about us. I think it's about the beacons. I think the beacons happen to be close to us, and maybe that's why we are more in touch with our fairies or whatever you want to call it, or quiet passengers. But I think something about, right, just in the same way that our fairies are taking energy from people, that this consciousness thing, this essence of being, matters when you're doing these kind of things. And just in the same way that they're using these beacons as a extra large way to draw more attention and poke more holes through this veil, however you want to call it that, right? I think that the school allows them to suck some of that consciousness, some of that being, the je ne sais quoi, in order to fuel their things, right? And I think that's why it's harder, and maybe that's why they have to have more when they're secluded, right? Because there was way more people in the Lighthouse Cave than there was at prom. I think there was like 8 people at prom, and in that cave there was maybe 20 or something, right?
Well, I think that we should focus on the list of addresses that we have, but maybe some of the more investigative minds could try and piece together the puzzles around the more eldritch things, like why the school and what's the hole in the middle of the lake.
That's my question. I feel like that's something that we learned a while ago and haven't really done anything with, and also feels
Well, because
like
it's
important.
terrifying.
Yes, it is terrifying, but also maybe a giant hole in the bottom of the lake that leads through eldritch monsters should be one of our priorities.
What about digging in and trying to find, have we tried to find any more, like, town historical references to grandfather?
Recall you doing that.
Maybe that's something, maybe that'll help us if we can look into see if there's any, I mean, if they've been doing this shit for forever, then maybe there's some kind of historical reference to grandfather. Maybe that'll lead us to those locations where they tend to meet, because the lighthouse was a meeting place for the Vintons.
Okay.
So
Okay.
maybe that's a thread to pull.
We have 4 days left. What if we try to make today heavy on like figuring out what the fuck is going on? That way we can use the rest of our time better.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what we've been doing this whole time. I mean, I think we got to stake out some of these group addresses. I think that
Yeah.
Atticus might blow a gasket if we don't.
I mean, I think yeah.
That's our clearest lead, and it would be foolish not to like follow up on it. So maybe that's Atticus and Clark. And then Olive and Freyja can do some of that investigation to make sure we're like better prepared, because that's something that you two are good at. And I'll go play the dumb jock and check in around school.
Talk to Vice Principal Shepard.
Yeah, I can do that.
Hey, check and see if Sophie's there.
Yeah, I can. I doubt she will be, but
Well, but yeah,
might as well check.
Look at that body.
Exactly. Like, is that
Mhm.
is the being? Yeah. See if the vessel is there. Ugh, hate that.
Oh my god, if Sophie is there with Gus piloting,
If Sophie's there with Gus piloting, slap the fuck out of Sophie Scott for me.
If anyone happens to come across Gus or Sophie Gus or Gus Sophie, let me know. I need to have a talk with them.
us.
Them.
Us, but not us,
Us.
apparently.
Us, but that's rude, I guess. Guys, pronouns are hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just get going.
All right.
All right, so as I understand it, you're breaking into 3 groups.
Totally easy. Split the party. Let's go.
Cool.
Great plan. Yeah, we didn't split into 5 groups, so
That's true.
Can't get the help action when you're split into 5 groups.
that's correct.
Chris doesn't need the help action. He's not doing anything dangerous. He's just going to school. What could go wrong?
Where it all began.
Can he get the help action from my dad, who wants him as a son more than me as a daughter? True parental love.
Ooh.
Indeed. So who wants to be first?
Freyja, you want to go do some research?
Sure.
All right, where are you going for research? What are you doing?
I mean, you are besties with the librarian.
Yeah, natural instinct says library. So I think that's probably the best place to start.
Olive would make an argument, be like, "Can you drop us off at my car so we're not like walking around everywhere?" So yeah, they have Olive's car now to make a quick getaway.
Nice.
you guys head to the Lantern Cove Public Library. Familiar place for you. I feel so nostalgic. We're going back to like episode 3 or 4. I can't remember which one.
God, I feel the need to take a wrench and pop a tire.
Yeah, at least Gus isn't here to attack tires with wrenches.
It's open to the public and nice, quiet place. The librarians. Actually, let's see how the librarians react to your quick. The librarians notice you come in and smile at you, but they do look a little bit suspicious of two teenagers coming in during school hours. So they may be about to approach you or call someone or something.
I'm just gonna go up to them and be like, "Hi, we're doing a school project on some of local history. Do y'all have like y'all have the like newspaper scanners, right?"
Oh yes, of course we do. We have all of the Lantern Cove periodicals going back to as long as there have been any.
Lovely. Olive, what year was that photo from again?
Beep, boop, beep, boop. When was that photo from? 1970. Are we talking about or just a random photo?
The photo of the 4 people.
Oh
that,
yeah,
like,
that was
brought
was that
home
from
in.
was that from the 70s? Or
That
when
was just from
I think we assumed the 70s because Sarah said about 30 years ago.
yeah,
Okay.
and we're
And our
all
brain
from the
always
90s.
thinks I think it's
Yeah.
actually like the late 80s, early 90s. I did the
Got it.
math
Yeah.
once.
Got it. The 90s. This date. Thank you.
Cool. Can I use the paper scanners to look at some of the newspapers from the 90s?
all right. They are suspicious, so I'm gonna have a rapport roll from you on this one.
Fuck. This is gonna be fine. This is gonna be fine. Hey, okay, I got a great. I have a 0 in rapport.
That tracks.
She seems charmed enough by your blatant dishonesty that she takes you back and shows you the machinery for viewing the microfiche.
Lovely. I'm just gonna start scanning the newspapers specifically around the year, around the time of that photograph to start with, looking for any mention of like grandfather or any of the other nicknames in that group chat.
Okay.
Also, would like to see if there's any mention of like a hole in the bottom of the lake as like a secondary thing while I'm doing that.
All right. Go ahead and give me an investigation roll.
Am I allowed to help? That is my sole purpose.
Just tell me how you're helping, and you can help.
I'll be like, what if like grandfather is part of like a place name? Like it not just thinking of like a person, thinking of it as like grandfather point or things like that, like coming up with different ways that where how grandfather could be possibly like important.
That's an epic.
Is it now? Okay. You are tearing through microfiche. Just your eyes alight on one, take it all in, zoop to the next one, take it all in, zoop to the next one, looking for patterns. And what you find is that there are mentions of grandfather outside of, where you would normally expect to find that word in the oldest records, but not new. It's as though it was something mythological back in the day and just died out. The references are usually in the more obscure periodicals, the ones that aren't published for the general public, but for a more niche audience. And they are not telling you much about what they refer to. They're more just like, by grandfather, or grandfather would approve of this, or things like that, without ever telling you who grandfather is. But it does make it paints the picture of an absent patriarchal figure that everyone fears and respects, and there's definitely a sort of a he'll be back at some point to give everyone their just desserts vibe to it from what you find. But that's all in the old stuff. There's nothing in the recent, 30 years or so.
Okay.
With that epic, is there, especially with how old the publication is there a name of the writer, of the reporter, of whoever was publishing this, or like even is there anything that would indicate like a last name of who was like the publisher of this of this newspaper way back in the beginning?
The publishers in Lantern Cove have always been associated with the Ashbourne family.
Got it.
Hmm.
Olive kind of staying quiet, knowing that there are adults around who are not trustworthy. I think we might want to maybe find a way to dig more into if they're the ones spreading information and controlling information,
Yeah.
maybe that's who we focus on.
Mm-hmm. And nothing about any of the other names, or a hole in the lake, or anything like that?
Nothing about a hole in the cove. In the cove. It's a cove,
in
not a
the
lake.
cove.
There's other lakes. We like the lakes. The cove
You're
is
right.
the scary.
You're right. You're right.
Absolutely nothing about a hole in the cove. It seems to be an unknown.
Okay. The family is, what was their name again?
Ashbourne.
Ashbourne. I'm assuming they're one of the ones on the list.
Oh yes.
Is oh god, I don't know. Could we find out who the current head, like editor-in-chief, like the head of that? Could we figure out who that is? I don't know that would be public information necessarily. I mean, it's a small town, but would that be would we know? Would I just know of like knowing who I know who the sheriff is, I know who the mayor is, because everyone in a small town just knows that information. Would I necessarily know who the bigwig editor-in-chief is of the newspaper?
Sure. The local paper is called The Lampwick, and it is run by editor-in-chief Peter Ashmore.
Are there any like scandals or anything similar around the Ashbournes?
There have not, as far as you can tell from periodicals, been any scandals with any of the founding families at any time.
Mm-hmm.
You got to listen to the raw blog for the scandals.
Olive is going to text the WhatsApp and just say, Ashbournes run the media, and put Peter Ashbourne in there just so everybody has that name.
I'm gonna ask the librarians about any word of mouth style scandals for any of the founding families.
That's a risky move.
I loved that report roll you gave me earlier. It worked out really well for you. Hopefully you can pull that off again.
Can I ask Olive to ask the librarians about this?
I am happy to do that and say, okay, so this is what we're writing a paper on. It's, like how the Salem witch trials was like all this crazy word of mouth, and how like it built up this fervor of just crazy misinformation. So we're going to like kind of look at that for our small town, and like that's what I'm just like going into like the hot goss. Like we're looking at it from like I just go full Gen Z, just like just full like oh my god, the gossip. I love it. She hates being this person. Yeah. If I can do a report roll, I'd be happy to do it.
Tell them to pour the tea, sis.
Oh my god. Please tell me your secrets. Listen, it's bad. It could be worse, but it is mediocre. I'm so bad at being fake.
All right. They titter a little bit, but they assure you that no such things have occurred in this fine town. But they are charmed by your cute little attempt at sort of journalism.
Oh my god, your little journalism, you're so cute. Okay, there has to be another place that has actual, God, do we have to look at the raw blog?
Okay. After Olive tries, I'm gonna go up to the librarian and say, okay, look.
Oh
Full
no.
transparency.
I'm pretty sure that the founding families are doing some messed up stuff around the city. And I just want to know if there's any precedent for this. This is not a lie.
I so wish I could help with this, but I've already failed on a report roll. I just want to be like, listen, it's been a really hard couple months. Can you just give this to her? It's therapy. This is therapy.
Right, give me that roll.
Is there anything it can be other than report?
You yourself said that it was honest, so it's not a deceive roll. So no, it's pretty much rapport.
I do have my alter ego has +1 in report. Never mind.
You can spend a fate point to
I-
use.
Invoke the alter ego.
Oh my god! Please invoke the the alter ego of death.
Yeah.
Trying to think of if I can make any of my aspects function for this. No. Really? Okay, it's fine. I got a good.
Yay.
With a good, they are not freaked out by your question.
You've seen how quickly I do this investigation shit. You see how quickly I go through this stuff. I'm not just like making shit up. I know it might sound like I am, but I'm really just trying to figure something out. I promise.
I bless your inquisitive mind. I think that when you have such an inquisitive mind, it can be easy to be drawn into exciting and strange, mysterious theories. And I know that there are entire sections of the internet just devoted to hooking people into these. But really, I just want you to. It's the world is not as frightening as all that.
It is. It's fine. Okay, fine. Do you know of any like Gizmosa, like people who like to talk, like rumor gossips? Do you know of any gossips that I could talk to?
Say, did you say you were here for school?
I gotta go.
Yeah, we're making a paper about how gossiping is bad. Yeah, Olive is pulling you away. We're really bottom of the barrel here. Sorry, thank you for the microfiche was great. I liked it a lot.
Thanks. We love our library.
Support our libraries. You should get paid more.
You should.
Okay.
That didn't go well.
Listen, it went okay. I
It did
mean,
go okay.
we do know, we have proof that it's been a thing since the fucking beginning.
Yeah.
and then it was silenced by the fucking
Yeah.
Ashbournes.
Do you know any gossips?
Do I know of like the local? Hey, listen, I will invoke my townie aspect all day long. Like like the local gossip rag, the like the zine that gets like put into people's doors. Like, do I?
There is no such thing. Everything's above board here in Leonard Cove.
Okay, listen. I know I'm only like 17 years old, but that's fucking weird.
That is fucking weird. Should we burn down the newspaper building?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
listen. Okay, first, before we do that.
Wait, you said yes.
I did. Okay. Let me roll that back. Let's get information from it, because I would bet good money they have lots of fucking records in there.
Yeah, okay. So
then we burn it down.
We break in, we get information, and then we burn it down. I like this plan.
I think Atticus might be becoming a bad influence on me. I don't care anymore.
No, we have 4 days to live.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Getting my Hyundai Sonata. Let's go.
All right. Y'all head off in your Sonata. We will move from there to the next group. Who would like to go next?
I'll go next. I think we should end with the arsonist, the true arsonist in our group. When does Atticus like alter ego turn into Captain Arson?
Firebombings have always been a part of leftist rebellion, so
Fair enough.
That's the most level-headed response. Chris goes to school. He's a little bit later than he'd like to be, which is still far earlier than most other people. Uses his key to get into the locker room, take a shower, get cleaned off after his like morning workout. And I think he wants to do... he's got sort of like a priority list of 3 things. One is to check in on Jess and see if she's heard anything and like make sure she's doing okay. 2 is to like generally reach out to his like social network in like the school and see if there are any rumors or vibes. Like everyone's pretty shut down and sad, so probably not, but just to see if there's any weird happenings around school. And the third thing is to talk to the vice principal, who seems to be pretty energized if he's like actually acting to make the school better and like putting in these emergency plans, but it might just be a burst of energy type thing similar to Clark's mom. But to start with, talk to Jess.
After you get cleaned up, you head in, and Jess has also come in early, as is her wont, so it is not hard to track her down. You know her habits. When you come up to her, she looks up and seems unsurprised, just like, hey, that graffiti, that was something else, huh?
Yeah, getting pretty desperate. I think Atticus in particular is very reasonably feeling very desperate.
Yeah, how are you feeling? Reasonably.
I have had better weeks, but it's come to my realization that someone's got to be the positive one on the team. And I'm the one whose family is, and social life and friends are perhaps the least effective, which is crazy considering that you're obviously affected. But yeah, we're being targeted in a pretty bad way, and I'm worried that I'm going to wake up and get a message that one of us didn't make it through the night.
Sure.
And honestly, I'm more worried that even if we do make it through the next 4 days, that won't be the end of it. That this is just how my life's going to be forever.
Once you're in the club, you can't get out.
Yeah, once you have a fairy attached to you, they don't go away, right? Yeah. But for now, I wanted to know if there's anything weird happening around the school. It seems to be a sort of nexus for all of this. I don't know if it's just young, pliable minds or energy or what, but I want to know if there's anything maybe you'd heard or seen unexpected around the school lately. I have been a little checked out.
Okay. Rolling for Jeff. She nods and says, "Look, everything at school is upside down right now. Like, they're taking people out, they're taking teachers out, and half of us are brain dead right now. But here's the weird thing, like, and you see her almost say something, and then just sort of push it back, and then she says, I think, look, it's not, it doesn't make any sense, okay, but it's like everything around us is losing its spark. And I don't mean like I'm depressed or I'm losing my thing. I'm not like them, okay? But it's like the world is going gray. Like everyone is losing, whether they are in school or not, they're losing their gumption. Because everyone is just losing a hope. And you can see that she's sort of coming off the rails a little bit as far as self-control.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the world's got darker.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we can brighten it up a bit.
Scares me.
Yeah. Reasonably so.
What can I do? How can I protect you all?
I mean, best way to protect us is to take care of yourself. Don't give me that look.
Dad.
I mean, you saying that it gives me some ideas, right, around what can we do to bring back that spark. But it's like, is it being drained by a malevolent force, something evil that's trying to use that power? And if we bring back hope and energy and whimsy, then we're just empowering this evil thing? Or is this evil thing trying to break down some defense that it can't take hold as long as, I don't know, I'm not smart enough for this shit.
Both, friend. But I think you got some ideas, and I think you should run with them.
Yeah, I think as co-captains, I don't know, maybe a pep rally, or maybe pep rally's a bad idea given how the last one went. Maybe gathering a bunch of people in the same spot is a bad idea. I don't know, maybe I'm going to talk to Vice Principal Shepard. Maybe there's something, if we're running on substitutes anyways, maybe we just do something fun for the school for a bit. I don't know, some thing.
Bringing hope back is a big call. It's a big ask.
But I think that if someone's going to do it, it's going to be us, right? It's going to be me.
Not just you, friend. I got your back.
Thank you, Jess. I think he pulls her into a hug and holds it for as long as she'll let him.
Yeah, she leans into it for a moment, then starts doing the back slap.
Yeah.
That macho. I'm hugging you, but I'm hitting you.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I think for the like checking in with the student body, I actually want to use one of my stunts. So I have a stunt, read the field. Once per scene, I can spend a fate point and a few minutes of observation to make a notice roll representing opening my senses to the location. For each shift you make on this roll, you discover or create an aspect related to direct observation of the scene, though you may only invoke one of them for free. So I think as I'm like walking through the hallway between periods to go talk to Vice Principal Shepard, I want to invoke read the field.
Then let's do a notice roll.
All right. I got a great.
Wonderful. So you wander the halls of the school, sort of with a soft focus, just taking in everything, taking it all in, all of the social cues that are going around that normally you wouldn't pay any attention to. And you do find an interesting pattern. So there are the things you already expected, like the people that specifically have contact with with you guys are all, as you already know, drained. But also of the people who are not close to you, many of them are showing symptoms of a similar vibe where they are down and depressed, and seems to be a link among them that they are more connected to online. Those people who are more stuck to their phones tend to be in the school, tend to be more depressed or lackadaisical, just sort of not responding as much, as though some presence on the internet were affecting them.
Okay. I immediately message that to the WhatsApp group as important for them and completely out of my purview. Like, hey, so thought that maybe going to school would be a dud, but the more like forever online people or people glued to their phone, the more like depressed they are. Not like, but not like how Gus talks about, but you know, like how people are when they get close to us right now.
Atticus just responds, "It's the forum."
Yeah, I think it's the forum.
Olive responds, I know it's just a symptom, but is that an argument to shut it down?
Yes. If it has the same effect that we do, that means it's either from the fairies that we're suspicious of or from the Eldritch entity that we're even more suspicious of.
Olive goes, so how does someone delete the internet?
I think we firebomb it.
Atticus types, "Easier to divert a river than to dam it." Maybe sparking interest in a different thing?
What if we firebomb the connections going in and out of the town?
Oh yeah,
The
let's
cell
cut this
tower?
town off from the internet.
Cut the town off.
God.
You want to
We
blow
bombed
up
the
the towers? Now Atticus is the least radicalized.
Listen, mistakes were made. Now all of us have been turned on. Yeah, you gave us our Winter Soldier codes, and now we're ready.
Yeah. Clark sends into the chat. Or we could convince whoever made the forum to shut it down themselves.
Forum likely made by grandfather.
It was started by my friend Aaron.
Oh.
I can talk to her, but also, and then it's just like a lot of dots for a second. It goes, Roblog? To divert to the Roblog?
Yes.
So we send in a whole bunch of links.
Yeah, what if we just
Just
spam it?
keep spamming
I
links
bet
to the Roblog each
we
episode.
could, I bet we could set bots to.
Do any of us have the technical know-how to make bots to spam a
We'll
Reddit
pay 'em. It's like
forum?
$20 to get a full factory full of Indonesian kids to get on their phones and
God.
flood something.
There's something morally wrong about that.
Child soldiers mobilizing child soldiers.
I could give it a shot.
Oh yeah, Clark's good at the web.
This is me assuming. Sarah, would this be a crafts check? Could I try on my phone?
Just hack the forum and take it down?
Probably wait till we get to a computer. I think from there, I'm going to go talk to Vice Principal Shepard.
He is quite busy today, but you managed to spot him on his way heading from a classroom back to the office.
Yeah, sort of like step up lockstep beside him.
He nods at you. Chris, hello, how can I help you?
Hi, Vice Principal. Busy day, huh?
Yeah. But nothing to worry about. We're just going through a time.
Going through a time. I was trying to think of like how I could help. Everyone seems like depressed, like morale is really low, and I was wondering, like, maybe since we have a bunch of subs anyways, we could do something like fun. Be better than managing 100 different lesson plans.
He slows down his pace to more fully listen to you. And you see, as he faces you, there's respect on his face. So he's genuinely listening. And he says, tell me more about what you're thinking.
Yeah, I mean, my original thought was in like an exhibition match between the dragons and the wyverns, but I realized that maybe not everyone likes lacrosse the way I do. So second best thing would be like a field day, right? Get everyone outside in the sun. Like we could get the lacrosse teams to set up like obstacle courses and games and things like that. Like we've done stuff like that. We have a whole bunch of stuff out in the old shed for like from past field days. Just kind of get everyone outside, moving in the sun, excited.
Go ahead and give me another report roll. We love these rolls today.
Yeah. Let's see. I got bad news about rapport. I'm gonna invoke King. That's what I'm gonna do.
Right?
And that is a great. And I think that I'm invoking King and the like pulling on King's experience with like everything for the kids and like helping out the orphanage and like his history of helping kids and raising morale and even worse situations than this one to like add energy to my plea.
So you see him sort of going through it. You can see the wheels turning in his head as he weighs the possibilities of your prospect. And then he tilts his head and he says, you know what? I like your idea. Let's do that. Coach Wright is out today, so if you could take the lead on this.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll reach out to Jess. We'll get the cross teams. Do we want to do tomorrow?
I see no reason not to. Unless you want to wait till Friday.
Chris is paralyzed for a moment, trying to make decisions without the rest of the team to give input. I was like, I think tomorrow's good. I think the sooner the better.
You know what? I agree. All right, we'll get started on that. Thanks. Thank you for your contribution. It's heartwarming.
Thank you for listening.
He nods.
Sort of bid him adieu and immediately message the WhatsApp group like, hey, so we're going to do a field day tomorrow. And messages Jess frantically like, how do you set up a field day? Please help. And spends the rest of his day, like school day at least, with Jess planning the field day.
Marvelous.
Oh, also texts Olive separately to let her know that her dad didn't come to school.
Yeah.
When I see that, if I would have been dropped off, I imagine my car would have been at my house. Would I have noticed anything?
No, you didn't notice anything out of the ordinary.
I just type back, thanks.
All right. So we go then to Clark and Atticus.
As the original cast recording for Sweeney Todd is playing.
Yes.
Atticus turns to Clark. Hey, man. I mean, I know, like, obviously I would do the same for you, but I just want to say thanks for speaking to your mom. Give me
Dude,
something to hold over.
you don't need to thank me. I know that you'd do the same, and honestly, any of us would have done the same. But let's, I gotta say, I'm sorry for the bullshit at prom when I asked you to make a Molotov cocktail.
No. It's just ideas, man. There's just you can't like had an idea in the moment. I just wasn't the right time, but the right idea apparently, because that's what's worked pretty well.
Yeah,
Um,
probably a better way for us to go about this. But
yeah,
honestly, at this point,
as I say, I don't know if there is, man.
it just feels right.
I don't know if there ever was another route. I get it. I want to. I want to. I want to live in a world where we get to choose nonviolence.
Hey,
I wish there was a way.
turns out you had it right from the beginning, though.
Yeah.
Um,
It's gonna sound insane. I think we need to go after the sheriff.
oh, you have no idea how much I want to do that. And right next to them on that list, Sarah, what was would I remember the family name that was of the family that's at the hospital, having been watched over my sister a couple of times for her seizures?
There certainly was at least one head nurse named Evan Burrow, but they didn't come to meet you often or anything like that. You don't know them well.
Okay. Yeah, they're next. But yeah, I'm fine with shooting the sheriff. As long as we don't shoot the deputy. I had to. It's right there. While I'm driving, can I look out for any familiar scenes that are close enough to the picture of, I'm pretty sure it was a rock that was one of the other pictures.
Sure. I mean, you can do a notice roll to see if you catch something like that.
I think I can give you the help for notice.
I'll just go listen to it.
Yes, I can give you the help for
Alright.
notice.
Awesome.
I'll help you study the pictures. Can I say that the way that I help is that we look at the pictures, cross-reference those with the addresses we've been given, type those addresses into like Google Maps to try to see if any of these locations match well.
Street view.
Yeah.
Right. That sets me at good.
With good, you do not see anything as you drive through the town that evokes the pictures that you've seen.
Gotcha.
So the Edinburgh's, one of them was a nurse, but do we know the family name for the sheriff?
The sheriff is also in Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
I'm saying sheriff now. It's the chief of police.
Sorry, chief of police.
Sheriff is the
Sorry.
county.
Yep, sheriff.
That's my plan. That's my thoughts on it, at least. Who should we check out next?
Who is the what was the family again? That was the propaganders?
The Ashbournes.
Ash.
Yeah.
I mean, I think those are our two. I think getting rid of the chief of police is another power center, right?
Yeah.
And Olive did send the name Peter Ashbourne as the head of the newspaper. So that name is out there as well, specifically.
Yeah. I mean, I'll leave it up to you, man.
This is just confusing me, though. We've got the fire department, the police department, and social media and news outlets that are being controlled. Why a high school?
I think about how the fairies are powered, right? It's like a part of our imagination.
True.
They get some sort of energy from that, right? Where is your imagination most fertile?
Not fucking high school.
Well, no, I mean age-wise, right? Before
Yeah.
I mean, it's really like the reality of the day-to-day, and it's everything after this, right? That's all they ever talk about. I don't know how many times I've heard the fucking lacrosse coach talk about these are the best years of your lives at a pep rally, right?
Yeah.
Like, clearly there's like something that goes missing or changes, whether it's like whimsy or freedom or imagination or like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just all energy, man. So we should just end the energy of the sheriff. What do you think?
Yeah. I'm down there with you. Let's go. And I drive to the first address on the list.
So to be clear, are you driving to the chief of police's house or?
Not. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Down
I
the
am.
street. And I think talking about all this like conspiracy stuff, Atticus gets like a little paranoid.
Actually, I've got an idea real quick.
What's that?
Can we? I before we drive over to the sheriff's house, I want to do something real quick. Do you have paints on you?
I think he has. I'm gonna roll dice because it's been a while. He went home and his source of paint burned down.
I mean, I know you used a lot to tag up,
I think he has like one can left.
Thor's hammer, but
I was gonna
like,
say because he tagged up Thor's hammer, and he probably has like a half a can left, maybe 3/4.
it almost pains him to say it. I want to make beauty unrecognizable. Let's paint my car. And the only person I trust to do that is you.
Yeah, let's just go to the hardware store. I think I got a few bucks.
All right. So we stop by the hardware store and pick up some spray paint.
All right. And now, like, I can't imagine you like painting this normally. In my brain, you're playing like space wizards on this.
I was fully going to make a black stallion with a wizard riding on top, like on a rainbow.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, man, I've had this design in my head for a long time. I don't get to do a lot of fancy stuff with my personal art, so it looks good, huh? Not really inconspicuous, but
No, but it definitely doesn't look like my old van.
yeah.
She's got an upgrade.
And then speaking of like people knowing and recognizing things, I think Atticus gets a little paranoid. Can he run like a Can I do like sort of crafts roll to run like a Norton virus check on his phone?
You're checking whose phone?
My own phone for like bugs or whatever.
Checking to
Like,
see if someone has tapped
if
into
there's
your
like
phone.
some way I could figure out a way my phone's being tapped.
Sure, give me a craft roll. Sure.
Alright.
Sure.
I'm gonna give him help action.
Okay. Mediocre plus. My crafts is good. It's a great with Mikey's help.
You tap into your jailbroken phone and get into the the dark web.
Command
It's
functions. I
fun,
go to the
man.
dark
It's
web and
fun.
I find a third party app that will help me with
Dude, are you using NordVPN? Sky's a lot better. Like,
This episode brought to you by.
Not NordVPN because you just said it sucked.
no.
Brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends.
Legends.
And Taco Bell.
Fully the only reason why Clark didn't recommend Taco Bell for breakfast was because he was afraid that his card would get locked. Because of the amount he bought last time.
So your car is now unrecognizable.
Oh, so so the van's unrecognizable. I pulled a Gus level shenanigan to see if my phone was being tapped by the police.
Your phone is not being tapped by the police. Found some adware. Got rid of it.
All right, yeah, let's go, man.
All right. You just see a tiny tear on the side of the side of Clark's cheek. It's beautiful.
So you get to the house of the chief of police. There is a car in the driveway. The house is a up-level, 2-story, single occupancy home. It's very, very posh for Lantern Cove. What will you do here?
Do you want to stake it out for a little while? Do you want to see if you ask your mom if he's at work or he's home?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Or at least if he's at work.
I'm going to WhatsApp Gus's phone, assuming that my mom still has it and hasn't thrown it away, and ask her, is the chief in? Just that.
You get an immediate reply back. Comes in at 1.
Okay. So he's not going to be in for a little while. Maybe we should check a different house and wait until then. What do you think, Atticus?
I think we're at the right house.
Do we want to do this now?
Time's a ticking.
Both Mikey and Clark are legitimately flipping a coin right now. I may or may not have bought some extra gas while we were making stops. Let's go.
I would like to try to go around back. But before we go on the property, as far as ways I can we look to spot any sort of like ring cameras or stuff like that in the back?
Yes. I won't make you roll for that. It's not hard to spot the cameras that are at both the front and the back of the house.
Okay. Do you want to web the camera?
Yeah. Clark is going to go ahead and just trying to think of a way to do this without being able to be seen on the camera.
Only you could wear like something to hide your identity.
You're right. I pick up a baseball cap. Um,
Yeah.
if I went from the side of the house, like walking across the next door neighbor's lawn, could I potentially
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think we went
get a
around.
good angle on? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's what I'm gonna do, and web the camera.
It's not something that the cameras were designed to avoid web shooting, so it's not something that I'm going to make you make a roll for. You successfully web up the lens of the camera in the back.
All right. I think you should stay hidden. And this is going to sound crazy because it is. This man is probably going to pull a gun on me. And if you stay hidden,
Yeah.
you can get him by surprise. And we just got to hope he doesn't shoot first. And then Atticus just walks out of the bushes and heads to the back door.
Are you attempting to be stealthy when you do so, or are you just striding up?
Not at all.
Okay,
If anything, I'm trying to provoke.
I see. All right, you swagger up to the door. No response from the house.
Is the back have like that classic, it's like kitchen with like the 6 windows?
Yeah.
He just breaks the window panel and opens the door.
That's a burglary roll.
Can I give him help by tossing him a rock?
I found a nice rock.
Sure.
It's got an angle cut. It'll work a lot better.
That brings it to a fair.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't really need a great roll for this because you're just smashing in a fucking window and everything. It was mostly to see how long it takes to do it. So you smash in the window pane, reach in, unlock the door, open it up, and you enter the house. You hear the sounds of feet coming down the stairs, but you can't see anything because the stairs are pointed away from you.
Yeah, I think Atticus just stands there and waits for him to come down.
So when the man in this house turns around from the stairs, he is holding and pointing a gun, a pistol, immediately points it at you, and he says, "You chose the wrong house.
I don't think I did.
I'm going to need you to put your hands up and turn around."
Are you gonna shoot me? You're gonna shoot me in the head in my own bed? You gonna burn this house down too to hide that?
"You're one of them."
No, you're one.
And he shoots you.
Clark is going to try and, before the trigger gets pulled, shoot the web.
All right. Exciting. Comet rounds in Fate are generally determined by notice score. So for this contest of sort of initiative between you and the chief of police, I'm going to ask for a notice roll, basically to
All
see.
3 of us?
No, just Mikey, to see if you get the drop on him.
Okay. 2 pluses, 1 minus. Come on, roll one more. So it's a great.
Nice, that's what you needed. You got exactly right. So your web, which you do have to spend a fate point for, knocks the gun out of his hand and into and classic webbing up of the gun onto the wall behind him.
I would love to, at this point, use Captain Anarchism's fight. Atticus had the gloves on. To try to beat this man to death.
I see.
I thought there was going to be a different way to say that, but
Yeah, yeah.
god damn, man, these rolls are killing me. Yeah, it's just a great.
That succeeds with style, so you are able to, with the first hit, knock him out, and then after that, well, the rest of the hits are easy.
Atticus takes the gun, and then he says, "Let's search the house." And then I'd like to just do an investigation to see if I can find either more locations, any sort of. I mean, like, I know that there's going to be probably a lot of the same stuff we found in Principal Gilman's house. So, I mean, obviously, all of that. Again, still trying to like download it. Finding it, probably exhausting his number of hard drives or his little sticks. And but yeah, I primarily want to look for more, family stuff, anything about the founders, anything about grandfather, and then again, if he's got also a creepy attic space.
Sure. All right, give me an investigation roll.
It is a goddamn. Wish we had Freyja. That's just an average.
Yeah.
I've rolled 4 times, and 3 of them have been zeros.
Clark cannot help because it's not even on my radar. That's Arachne guy, and I'm trying to use that last one for
To be
something else.
fair, like I think that reflects the reality too, because Atticus is like, in Atticus's mind, the investigation part's over, right? It's like anything we're doing now is confirming what he has felt for a while.
Clark is definitely just staring at the body on the floor, thinking to himself, "You threatened the wrong people, motherfucker." A little bit of a Batman vibe going on.
Oh, if I can find more guns, I will try to get them. And then I'll take the valuables too to make it look like a robbery, but that's a different role.
Within this house, you do find a computer that you're able to turn on, but not able to get into. The password is something you don't have. You do find a gun safe and a regular safe, which you can attempt to get into with burglary. But other than that, there's no weird rooms like Gilman's house had. There's no secret attic or anything like that.
That makes sense. All right, I'm gonna try to roll a burglary then. Gonna invoke for sure Captain Vandalism. Just not sure if it's gonna be the reroll or +2. Yeah, I guess I'll take the +2, try for a good, see if I can get into either one. Or...
With a good, you are able to get into the gun safe, but not the valuables safe.
How heavy is the valuable safe? How big is it?
You could carry it out. It's not in the wall or anything like that. It would be awkward to carry, but you can carry it out.
Atticus turns to Clark and says, I got an idea, but we don't really got time to like loop everyone else in.
What's your idea?
What if we take his car and drive it to the Vinton Lighthouse, and then when they look for his car, it'll be at the scene of a different crime?
Do you mean with him in it, or do you mean...
No.
Okay.
We just make it all look nothing. Nothing made sense.
Yeah.
But we take the safe.
Okay. I'd say the only issue there is who's going to drive the car.
I can. Clark, I just murdered someone. I'm not super concerned about...
I didn't know you had a license.
I don't have one, but I don't care.
Okay. Yeah, I gotcha.
How different could it be from a Razor scooter?
Can I borrow your gloves for a second?
I have more pairs. And he pulls out a box of nitro gloves that he uses often to commit crimes.
I put the gloves on and search the chief's body.
So his gun is obviously on the wall, but he does have his identification on him and his phone and a wallet with, credit cards, that sort of thing.
Looking at the credit cards, tempting, but traceable. No. Grab his phone.
I mean, also traceable, but if we leave it with the car, it's fine.
His phone is locked with what looks like an 8-digit pin.
8 digits. That's a lot of digits.
I'm just gonna pocket it.
Okay, let's get the safe into his car. Oh, and then he gives a ski mask and is like, we're not gonna take out the front camera. And he puts his mask on.
Gotcha. Yeah. I put the ski mask on.
Can we still, though, as stealthily as possible to avoid neighbors? So
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a 90-year-old woman in this neighborhood right now that heard a car backfire.
Where are his keys?
His keys are in a bowl next to the front door.
Okay. I grab that, hand it to Atticus.
Puts it in boxes the keys, and the 2 men carry the safe to the trunk. I guess he would pop the trunk if he can from inside the house as quick as possible. I don't know.
Will this even fit in his trunk? What kind of car is he driving?
It's a police chief of a small town. This is 100% an SUV.
Yeah, SUV or like a Ford. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an SUV.
Oh yeah, never mind, it'll fit.
So you're wanting to be stealthy? Go ahead and give me that stealth roll.
What's your stealth like? I've got a fair.
Pretty good. It is.
Okay.
Oh, it's also fair, actually. Never mind.
You've got it. I'll give you some help with carrying it away.
Yeah.
+2. So it would be fair, it goes to average. It's good.
All right. You go out the front door with the safe in hand. And did you end up taking those guns, by the way? There were 2 in the safe and the one on the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking. You head out. You put the safe in the sheriff's car. And then get in the car and...
Yeah, let's go to the lighthouse. We'll transfer the safe to your van. I can take more time to try to get into the safe. Worst case, we go to Gus's house, bust it open. But we leave the sheriff's car and his phone here. We know they're tracking phones. That's how they got my parents.
Yeah.
At the lighthouse, Atticus spray paints the van and says the Vintons remember. Or sorry, not the van, the SUV.
You spray paint the SUV. And... it all goes smoothly, without a hitch.
Suspicious.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Nothing to see here.
So chill, so
Things
relaxed.
can go right.
Can they?
Is it just me or did that like neighborhood feel too suburbia to you?
This whole town does. It's not loud enough. Don't you miss the noise?
Every day.
It's hard to sleep, huh?
Right?
Okay, let's get out of here, and I'm gonna try to break into the safe over and over again.
Okay.
Yeah, we gotta get somewhere safe. Should we go to Gus's house? His grandma never knows what's going on.
We don't want them like getting pinned for this shit though. I drive us to the woods.
We'll go to the end of the school day where folks can sort of regroup, but we're going to end on a scene at school where Chris is leaving the gym. So Chris, as you are leaving the gym, having set up things for tomorrow and as feeling for a moment perhaps that something might be going your way, you exit the door. That is when the bag is lowered over your head. And we will end our session with that. Thank you all, and have a lovely time.
I love that for me.
Put that cat in a bag. See what happens.
Put that cat in the bag.
I got that cat in me.
Oh my god. Time to let the cat out of the bag.
Boom, boom, boom.